I saw last night's game. Let's take the Anthony Davis stuff out of it. He left the game with a head injury that was not diagnosed as a concussion, but left the game. He was woozy wobbly. He needed a wheelchair. It's like we knew the Warriors were going to win last night. Everything was telling you the Warriors are going to win.
Yeah.
Yet still kind of feels like the Warriors, did they gain a little momentum? Like, even if we all knew they were going to win, does it feel like now with Davis, maybe not 100%, has the one thing that had to happen happened, which is either Davis or LeBron or compromised in some way, shape, or form, and now it opens the door for this series to switch and to swing towards the Warriors?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think if we were more rational, we would have known that. And actually, I think I did say 3-1 for the Warriors was not necessarily 3-1 in every series. You knew the Warriors could turn this around because the Warriors it should have been 2-2. I think the Warriors were supposed to win Game 4. And then the Lakers were supposed to.
What do you mean supposed to? Like,
well, you know how.
Like, what, with the referees like pulling the strings?
Well, the final score was 104-101, and the Warriors uncharacteristically blew a bunch of opportunities at the end. Like, that was a game the Warriors usually win. You're right. It was an 8-point spread last night.
Yeah.
Everyone knew. So I still think the Lakers, I think Davis is going to play. And the thing is, in LA, guys like Hachimura and guys like that are going to step up.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot.
Nobody did last night.
They have a lot.
Lakers role players were quiet.
They have a big edge on the bench still. I think the role players who did not do well. And your guy, Jordan Poole, okay, he played a little better than I thought, but he was still 1 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, but he was better, and he played over 20 minutes in the game.
Yeah, but in L.A., you know, I think I looked at it. He's one of 2 players who had a plus-minus on the team for the Warriors. He's definitely the worst guy on the team. And wait till he gets out in LA.
Worst guy on the team.
I mean, you're going to get a Schroeder game. You're going to get a Rui game. You know what I'm talking about, Stu, right? Like, these role players, they come and go in these playoff series.
Stu, you're nervous.
I'm nervous.
You're a Laker fan.
I figured the Lakers would lose last night, but just the way they looked doesn't give me a lot of confidence for Game 6. And that probably has a lot to do with the Anthony Davis health and injury. Yeah. So if he plays, maybe that all goes away. But at the same time, they just didn't look great.
Let's hear what it sounded like with the Davis injury last night on TNT.
Russell, what a move! Oh, D'Angelo Russell.
Anthony Davis obviously got hit.
It was wobbly.
You can see it here. Watch Looney's arm right across the face.
It was rough. Here was Darvin Ham talking about Davis after the game.
Obviously, everyone saw he took a shot to the head, but I just checked in on him. Seems to be doing really good already. So that's just where it's at. That's the status of it right now.
Okay, but, there's going to have to be a protocol here because he was checked out on the bench and then he was taken back to the locker room again, had to use the wheelchair because he didn't feel steady on his feet. When I went back and looked at the NBA's concussion protocol, and he must get checked out 24 hours later, even if he's not diagnosed with a concussion, and has to get cleared again in case any symptoms present themselves.
Okay, I can easily see them clearing him.
Yeah.
I mean, if Darvin Ham is telling anywhere near the truth and he was okay after the game, we know that guys can come back. Guys can come back a quarter after a concussion. They come back the next play after a concussion.
2 games ago, Draymond Green hit his head on the back of his head on the floor, and nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, he got right up.
Yeah.
A little more so than Davis. So I think he'll play. My issue here and why I'm scared for the Lakers, Davis is not always, I don't want to say self-motivated. He doesn't really always play with that motor anyway. So
that's the biggest criticism of him.
If there is a real concussion and where he can't really get, is it going to be even harder to get his motor going and really, really go at it 100%? I don't know. He makes me nervous every game. You never know if he's going to show up. So if he has his head injury, even if it's better,
right,
is he going to be 100%?
Well, and it's not just, you're so right about it. It's not just they need him for the scoring and the defense, but just him being aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any hesitancy about, sort of banging inside, that kind of thing? Because the blocks are such a big part of his game because those are so demoralizing. Yeah. Not to mention starting a fast break the other way and stuff like that. Listen, Steve Kerr after the game said this is exactly what we wanted. We want to run. We realize that we want to tire out Davis and LeBron as much as humanly possible, and they might have cracked the door open just a little bit here.
Then again, you could also be worried about certain parts of the Warriors. Klay Thompson is not Klay Thompson.
You already got the Klay game. That was game 2.
No,
you got the Clay game.
You get more than one Clay. You can't have just one Clay game. You need 3 Clay games to make the finals. Because if it's not, who are you really counting? Draymond had 20 points last night. What are the odds of that happening twice in the series?
0.
So you're going to have Steph. Somebody else is going to have to step up. And I'm not sure they do that on the road. I know, Stu, you're a nervous Nelly about the Lakers. But come on, even last night, the Warriors did not look like all cylinders are firing to me.
Yeah, but at the same time, they comfortably won that game. That was never, ever in doubt in the second half.
They were, I said they were supposed to win game 4. They were basically at the same exact place in game 4. They were up 11 towards the end of the third quarter, and they just somehow exploded.
Well, Lonnie Walker came out.
Yeah, but the Lakers didn't have it last night. LeBron eventually gave up. He did play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, he did.
Stupid.
44, I think.
No, 39, I think.
Was it that?
Yeah. I just looked at it a second ago. I think it was 39. But, yeah, it was 39. But why even that many minutes?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This was another bizarre thing that happened last night. So this is after the game. You know, Inside the NBA is like our favorite show. Kenny the Jet Smith was our guest 2 days ago. We're big fans. We know that Barkley loves Perloff. So does Shaq. So it was odd because they started talking about Anthony Davis, and Barkley and Shaq just could not stop laughing.
These guys, man. I know what they're laughing about. I think I do too, but what are you laughing about? You know what they're laughing
I'm laughing at Chuck.
I know what they're laughing at. You understand?
Shaq is over there crumbling up paper. That's why I was laughing.
That's not what I'm going about.
I'm laughing at Chuck.
Tell the truth.
They understand. Oh, man. Stop it, man. Stop it.
Ernie, don't let us go there. If we go there, it'll never stop.
Ernie, we need to go to that next game quickly.
No, we don't.
Oh, man. I'm laughing at Chuck.
This is like when EJ just wants to say, just get to the principal's office. Just go to the principal. And the guys who are cracking up like class clowns. But the insinuation is that they were laughing at Anthony Davis and the fact that he needed a wheelchair.
Wait.
That's the insinuation.
The wheelchair part.
Yeah, but this wasn't a Paul Pierce situation where Paul Pierce, had a bathroom incident allegedly and needed a wheelchair. This guy actually got hit in the head.
Is there any verification that that's what they were laughing at?
Yeah, the streets. The streets are verifying that's what they were laughing.
Shaq and Charles. I mean, you watch that show, they are completely ignoring everything and doing their own little thing all the time. They easily could have been laughing at something from last night. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's a naked laughing at Anthony Davis.
Jay in Alabama, our pals in the chat, saying Charles and Shaq were giving the dude no mercy last night. Silently, while laughing. I think everyone thinks they were laughing at Davis.
I read some think they were laughing at Davis.
Okay, some think they were.
How many times do you see them cracking up? That's something that we have no idea about. Pretty much 4 times a show.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're not well. I'm sure they started laughing at Anthony Davis, but who knows why it got out of control.
That's true. 855-212-4CBS, yes.
By the way, it's definitely the Anthony Davis thing they must have been laughing at is the wheelchair, which brought them back to Paul Pierce, which brought them back to bathroom humor, which would make them laugh.
This is the trail of thought?
Yes. I just think I don't know Shaq and Charles, but the fact that I don't think it's so linear that they were laughing at Anthony Davis.
I mean, it was like, what are you guys on the back of the school bus or something?
Yes,
that's what it sounded like. It's like, are you in a clubhouse, treehouse situation?
Watch
like 2 14-year-olds cracking up.
That's every night, every single night of the week.
That. They don't usually bring those kind of inside jokes. They do have inside jokes, but not where they're laughing for 3 minutes without explaining what it is.
All the time. Every single
Usually
show.
the audience is along
Never.
for the ride.
Never.